no relationship with his father. And when they told me that the baby was a boy, I didn't want to see him for 4 days. Back in the day, you didn't give birth and you got kicked out of the hospital the next day, but you were there for a season, right? But I was so angry because I was so angry that I allow a person to dominate my life. And when I looked at my son, he looked at me with these beautiful little eyes. And I said to myself, he's not his dad. Why am I rejecting him? But the pain inside was so overwhelming, and I did not know how to differentiate because he was born a male. I thought all males were bad because of one person. And so when he looked at me, I saw this look. And the day before circumcision, I said, can I hold him? And for the first time after 3 days, I finally picked him up. 3 days. I wouldn't feed him. I wouldn't touch him. All I did was just look at him. Because the pain inside of my heart was so overwhelming because of the domestic violence that I had suffered and all the things that I had been through as a child, as a young woman. And I wanted another Jew. But here is this little. And Roberta, for many days, I didn't even have a name for her. I had no idea. But when our eyes connected, there was such a connection between him and I. It's like he knew me by the Spirit, and I knew him. And so I said to myself, oh, okay. After circumcision, I was able to take him home. And there was a bond between him and I. Like Tasha said, he loved his mother. For my curly hair, he said, Ma, I love you, curly hair. I said, thank you. But he was such a humanitarian. To me, he was born way before his time. Because of the things that he used to say to me used to scare me. And I would say to him, don't say that. I was just telling Tom and Tiffany, Lori and Mike, his friends, they're all over the place. But he used to say things to me that scared me because he was too young to know that. And I have to tell you guys, everybody know I was a heathen. I was a heathen. Can I get some amens on the back row? They all know back there. But I say all that to say I operated the majority of my life out of pain. The majority of my life was operated out of hurt, out of trauma, out of devastation, because I had no idea who I was. But when this little kid started growing up, and this unconditional love that he showed me made me connect back to not only to my children, but to myself. And that's when I started learning how to love. See, people think because you're a mother, you automatically love. Well, we have a lot of love languages. My love language at the time when my children were growing up was truly to protect them. Did I love them? I didn't know how. I just did not know how. But protection was the number one. I just needed to protect them from men that I found myself involved with. And that's what I wanted to do. But when this little boy was growing up, and the way he touched my heart, and the way he used to rub my forehead and touch my hair, and to say the things that he did to me at a very young age, showed me all males are not bad. They're not all bad. So it opened up my heart. It opened up my soul. And it created some space in me to learn how to love again, to learn how to laugh again, to learn how to enjoy life again. I was so robotic until I didn't even know how to smile. I didn't know how to laugh. I didn't know how to love. So everything was like a robot. because my heart was so broken and fragmented. I know a lot of you guys have been there. I see a lot of people out there that I know that have lost their children. I see a lot of people that have lost loved ones. I see a lot of people out there, you know, the Bible says, hope deferred will make your heart really sick. Hope deferred, but when the spring of life comes, it's a joy. But like Dr. Felicia said, do we give ourselves permission for the joy to come in? It's our time to be released from all the devastation. It's our time because this is the only life that we'll have on this earth. And God has mandated us to go into all the world and preach the gospel of Jesus Christ. To all the world, not to just blacks and white, whatever, to all the world. And that's my mantle. That is my mandate, is to preach love, unconditional love. And so I stand here today before you. And I'm so very grateful and I'm so thankful for all the honors, all the certificates, all the things that I've accomplished. Because people come to me and they ask me, could you come to speak at Cal Poly University? That's Angela over there. She works for Dr. Soraya Coley, which is not here today. She's the president of Cal Poly University. Angela shut the whole school down and invite me and the kids up there. And we're sitting up here like, for real? I mean, just favor. Favor. And then somebody asked me to come and speak, and they said, show me your credentials. Do you have your PhD? I said, no, but I do have GED. That's all I got. That's all I got. I got a GED. I never went any further than that. And I got that later in life. But I say all that to say, it doesn't matter about the paper in which your name is written. It's the matters of the heart. Like my niece just said, it's time for us to forgive. It's time for us to love. It's time for us to let go of a lot of things that we're holding on to. And I tell people all the time, what you're running from, you're running with it. It's time for us to forgive. It's time for us to live a life that's worthy of the call. Because at the end of the day, you will be accountable for it, whether you step into it or not. And so the things that I have accomplished in this life, I've just started because I love people. And it was only by looking at this little boy's eyes that gave me my life back. He gave me my hope back. I used to see him walk up and down the street of Laverne, and I would, I was on a little fixed income, and he said, Mom, I like those shoes. I go, no problem. So I buy the shoes. The very next day, this boy is walking across the street of Baseline and Foothill with no shoes on. I said, what the hell happened to your freaking shoes, boy? Ma, you told me. I said, well, I ain't even getting your shoes away. I just bought them. His heart. He saw kids that didn't have, and he gave everything he had. Mike, Tiffany, all of these guys, they witnessed he had something inside of him. And I believe in my heart and soul, Damon knew that he was not going to be on this earth very long. I believe it to this day. At first, I could not accept it as a mother because I called it life in reverse. But I'm telling you, when he stepped over the balcony, looking over the balcony of heaven, when that boy left our life, we became homeless, disparity, anger, frustration, you name it. And I started writing and journaling. That's all I had. And I asked God, would you use the broken pieces of my life for the good of the community and for the people that I would one day touch? And that's all of you guys that are sitting here today. And for that, I'm very grateful. I'm extremely grateful. I thank God for my family, for my daughters, for my granddaughters, for my nieces, for my sisters. It's a lot of us. The tribe, the community, for all of us that have come together. I did not come here to glorify myself. I came here to glorify my God. And I'm going to tell you, I don't care what you've been through in life. Use the broken pieces, the broken parts, the fragmented parts, the trauma. Use it for the glory of God. And I'm telling you, little becomes much when you place it in the Master's hands. If you allow him to use it, he will. Because we all have something great to bring to this earth. All of us. Mike, you know, it's terrible looking at these young kids nowadays and what they're going through. It's terrible looking at women in domestic violence. It's terrible looking at some of the things that we see in our society. But guess what? Like Barack Obama said, be the change. When you leave here today, whatever it is that you're going through in your heart, your soul, your mind, your spirit, make a conscious decision. Be intentional to get things right. Because we don't have for right now. We don't have tomorrow. We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. But be intentional. Be present. Show up for your life. Show up. When people ask you stuff, be honest. Let people know I'm hurting. I don't have the answers. I don't have what you need. But just let me stand with you. Let me stand with you as a person. So I'm very grateful. It's been a rough week. I had more wine than I should have had. I'm telling myself, okay? That's okay. Because that's who I am. That's right. But I'm saying all that to say I had to do what I had to do to navigate through it. Because sometimes it gets real hard. And sometimes you want to reach out. And sometimes God will say, not today, reaching out. I'm dealing with you in this space. Lay down before me. I want to talk to you. And that's where I am today. I am so very eternally grateful. Very grateful. And not only am I grateful, I have my family here. I have my support system here, my community here. The tribe is here. And when I leave this place, there are things that I know in my mind and in my spirit. I need to go get a couple of things right, and I'm going to do it when I leave here. Why? Because the Word of God, it cuts. And it's feather here, and then it goes out to the ones who hear. So today, while it's called today, let's be better people. Let's love unconditional. Let's love unconditional. Let's forgive. We have too many things in our spirit that we feel that we don't want to forgive. But guess what? Pain in your heart will consume you. Not that other person. You. So today, let's be better. Let's do better. Let's strive better. All the work that I did it out of pain. But guess what? He took the grief. He took the loss. He took the trauma. He took everything. And I call God a frugal gourmet. He mixed it up in this beautiful ingredient. And here she stands before you today. Thank God. My brother is back there.
PhD in my book.
Okay.
Right.
Right. But I'm thankful. And I'm grateful. I'm humble. I'm telling you guys right now, I am living my best life. Not that I have everything that I want. I do not. But what I have, I've made peace with myself and peace with God. And with that, that's all I need. Thank you all.